This old guitar has two problems that I'm going to solve today, and they're both at the nut. Problem one is that the strings are too high. I can bring them down where they're more comfortable. The second problem is that they're not really filed properly. These strings are coming up to the back of the nut and sort of laying on the top. They're not ramping off the front edge like you want them to, so you have a clean takeoff point at the front of the nut. If I pick up this D string, for example, and lift up on it, I can see a gap instantly under the very front edge. It's hardly touching there at all, it's touching back here. And I want every string's takeoff point to be clean and uniform right here at the front edge. To do that, I will backfile all these string slots so they ramp to the front edge evenly and take off at the front. I can see that this nut is off center and it's glued in there, so I'm going to tap it loose and work on it off the guitar using the nut and saddle vise. I can actually do the work a lot easier that way, and then later I'll glue it back in right. First I'll take a little of the material off the top of the nut and get to some clean material so I can see better. And then what I'm going to do is put pencil lead in these slots and only backfile. I'm going to take off the back side of each slot until I see the pencil lead laying only in the front of the groove, and that's my takeoff point. You can see the black disappearing. I'm staying off the front as much as possible, and I'm stroking it and going around with it to create a gentle ramp. That rolling motion is keeping the ramp open on the back, and that's good. You don't need all that back there. You want the string to be free to ramp. When I only have pencil lead at the front of the slot, that's the time to pop this nut back in there and see where my action is. Now the bone's back in place. It's not glued, it's just slid side to side lined up. And now I'm going to be very careful about dropping the string height and backfiling at the same time. Take some meat off again on the back, come up to the front edge, and check the string height. You'll do each string a few times till you get there. Really, I'm just after the feeling that I like. There we go. It's a nut cleanup in 2 easy steps. I've got the backfiling that I wanted. I've lowered the strings a tad and they feel better. I glued it in with 2 drops of Titebond and I'm going to let it sit with the strings holding it in place till it dries. And I'll have a great playing guitar.